This podcast will fail. Mostly because nobody's going to listen to it. You might prove me wrong. Who knows? And here we are on episode 7 of the podcast, and something interesting is appearing to unfold in front of me. Somebody, one or two somebodies, possibly a third somebody, might actually be listening to this, and I'm a little surprised by that. When I look at the interface that I have through Anchor to see all of the quote-unquote plays across the 6 or 7 platforms that this is available on, I see 2 or 3 plays per episode. Now, that I think could be a couple of things. There might actually be somebody out there, and if you're out there, wow, hi. I guess I'd love to know what you think. But there's really no way for you to tell me how you think, because I'm nobody. If you're hearing this for the first time, this is like totally anonymous. I'm not doing this under my own name. I'm not saying who I am, and as much as I'm spending time talking about the things that I've done in the creative space in the last 15 years, at least in season 1 here, I'm not saying what those things were, right? I've talked about doing internet radio. I've talked about doing writing. I've talked about doing now into YouTube. But the actual individual project names, channel names, items, none of that necessarily matters, and that's not the point. The point of this particular podcast is to allow myself to work through everything that I've dealt with during those 15 years, as I've watched time and time again every single project I spend time developing and building and getting ready and launching and then promoting and then trying to build a following and a fan base and try to get things looked at and view counts and monetization and all this other, God, it's exhausting. I've talked through most of what I've done up to the past 4 years. 2016 is when I decided at the age of 40 to start a YouTube channel, and that is where I'm going to pick up the thread today. Yesterday and today are the days that I get to record this in my not home studio in the corner of my bedroom on a makeshift old desk in the corner with my kids' remote learning textbooks and laptop and clutter and my trusty dusty old 4-channel mixing board and studio condenser mic clamped to the edge of the desk. What sucks is I'm right on the edge of the road. Woo! So every car and truck that goes by make a nice dirty rumble in the background, and it's really annoying. And I guess I have to continually stop myself from wanting to try and pause and let that audio pass before I speak again, because I don't spend a heck of a lot of time editing this after it's done. There's some things I'll clean up just by the nature of my speaking voice and who I am. I end up having to clear my throat a lot. I do edit those out. You're welcome. And then, well, that's really for me, though, because I don't think anybody's listening at this point. But, hey, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. And it's annoying. I wish I had a more professional setup. I have talked forever about these pipe dreams of having, like, an actual home studio and, like, finishing the basement, or, when my kids finally get old enough and move out, I'll get a room and I'll be able to convert that room, and I'm going to put up soundproof baffling, and I'm going to run monitors and equipment, and I'm going to have a whole freaking setup. No, I'm not. I'm going to continue to sit here in the corner of my bedroom and make the things I make. Speaking of the things I make, for now 4.5 years, on and off now, mostly off lately, I make YouTube videos. So I talked in yesterday's episode about the genesis of the YouTube channel and my idea of recording topical conversations while I drive, and then recording walkabouts around interesting places that I have found, places with stories, stuff that frankly old people would be interested in, right? General interest, human experience type discussions and stories and places that I cut videos in, and learned all the cool editing techniques and things like transitions and B-roll, and as much as I tried, I never ever learned cameras. I just don't get it. I never did get it. I never will get it. I mentioned in the episode yesterday that at one point I finally invested in this here Sony RX7 Mark II, I think is what it is. I don't even know anymore. I don't know what this thing is. And it works just fine. It's beat up pretty well, but it takes good video. It almost fails in comparison to just the Google Pixel that I have here in my hand. That I've done more of the videos on this Google Pixel in the past year than I've ever done on the Sony. And I guess that's just the inevitable march of technology. It sucks though that I did spend $700 on that camera and I only got really 2 to 3 years of solid use out of it before it was obsolete. I never learned lenses. I don't get it. I don't know any of that crap about aperture size and ISO. And look, I know that I film at apparently 60 frames per second on default settings. That's all I know. I'm not going to pretend. I've watched all of these quote unquote friends and contemporaries of mine in the YouTube space and these little groups that I've gotten in and out of over the past 4 years. Watch them all become quote unquote experts about cameras and about gear. And I don't have any patience for it. I can learn. I'm not that old. Yes, I am. I'm turning 45 next month. But I can learn things. And apparently cameras and lenses and all that are just not one of those things I'm ever going to learn. A big part of it is because I don't care. I don't actually care. I don't have the kind of eye that looks at 2 different YouTube videos, one of them filmed on a $3,500 movie camera and one filmed on a freaking iPhone. I don't care. I don't see the difference. I don't see the quality. I'm sure people do. I'm sure that I don't know what I'm talking about. Believe me, I know that I don't know what I'm talking about. But as a consumer of media, I could give a crap about 4K anything. I don't own a 4K TV, nor will I. I think the vast majority of people in my country, at least, will not own 4K TVs until 4K TVs cost $200 at Walmart. Okay? That's just the reality of it. The whole thing of gear has just been a complete pain in my neck for so long. And cameras and even trying to film, I'll tell you, I went through so many different iterations of how to actually manually film in a vehicle while driving, and it's just frustrating as hell. I mean, there were points when I was trying to mount the camera itself onto the dashboard in different ways. The fact of the matter is, I also don't drive the kind of car that is like perfectly road quiet car. I've never owned something vehicle wise that doesn't come with a whole hell of a lot of wind and road noise while you're driving. So bad enough that, unless you've got picture perfect tires right off the showroom floor, you are going to have vibration through the body. You can feel the road through the thing, and you can put your camera on the dashboard and look back at the video and see that there's a certain level of shakiness to it. Right? It's just really tough to film quality work inside of a moving vehicle. The sound is no different. I admit I get somewhat obsessed with sound, and sound quality. And even now, as I watch on Audacity here, as I watch my words turn into blue bubbles, it frustrates the holy hell out of me that I can see all of this noise and static in the pauses, that I'm a hypocrite. Okay, I'm a hypocrite because I don't have an eye for video quality and frames per second and ISO and all that other horse crap, but I have an ear for static and environment noise, and it makes me nuts. And I don't have the level of editing skill to be able to make clean, crystal clean audio without somehow damaging the actual words and vocal track when you apply too much noise canceling. It is what it is. So I try to find a balance as much as possible. It's really hard. And when you apply that to the interior, again, of a moving vehicle, it's maddening. I tried all kinds of things. For a long time, I tried wearing a lapel microphone, which got kind of mixed results. You know, that's another tough one because good old Sony RX7 here does not have a microphone port. There's nowhere to plug in a microphone, so that was pointless. So now the microphone is plugged into the cell phone. The camera is connected to the dashboard. Lapel pin's connected to the cell phone. And then I gotta connect all this crap in my editor and hope I can line up the tracks. Like, Jesus Christ. It's absurd, man. It is abjectly absurd how much time you can spend trying to make professional sounding audio, professional looking video, when you're just an amateur on your own with a budget of exactly $0 effing dollars and $0 effing cents. It's maddening. I don't understand why I get so lost in those considerations when all of the time and effort that I've put into trying to overcome them for the sake of creating something that would be commercially viable, that people would somehow monetarily support me in making, just doesn't happen. Would it happen if I did somehow have thousands of dollars to spend on things like better equipment or hiring an editor? I don't know if it would. I don't know if I'm too scatterbrained to focus in on any of that were I to have the funds to do it. And further, if I had the money to do that kind of thing, buy better equipment, hire an editor, do all of what it would take to create something that looks like it was made by big YouTubers, would I even get there? Because I don't make content for 20-year-olds and 25-year-olds. I'm not a gamer. I can't stand gaming videos. It's mind-boggling to me how anyone can sit there and watch somebody play a video game for hours on end. But I have children who do that. They watch and that's their, oh, I'm going to be a gamer too. I've got friends with teenagers. Oh, he's starting a channel. All right, good luck, Skippy. They're a dime a dozen. And I don't mean to be a jerk about it. It's just frustrating because these are some of the biggest, most recognized, most famous, and well-paid people on the planet sit and record themselves playing video games and make a lot of money doing it. It's mind-boggling to me. The biggest, most recognized, well-paid creators in this space are obnoxious children that scream, "Hey guys, what's up guys, it's your boy." Oh my god, it is maddening. It is frustrating. And I just feel like I didn't get this done when I was 25. I didn't get this done when I was 30. I didn't get this done when I was 35. Making YouTube is like chasing ghosts. Chasing stories you heard about ghosts, and when you get to the haunted mansion to look up and see where the ghost is, you find out that no, of course not. Of course there's no ghost here, and this isn't even a mansion, it's a Motel 6. It's like, what the hell was I thinking was going to be the point? You know? I don't know where I suddenly thought that at any point during this journey that somebody was going to listen to this middle-aged guy. Not necessarily being fair to myself, because I did have some specific successes. I had, I guess, three, four, maybe a fifth video out of the almost 200 something videos that I made over 4 years. A small handful of them have quote unquote taken off. Okay. I guess I'll go through those a little bit right now because there's other things I want to talk about in the YouTube world, but I'm burning up nearly 17 minutes worth of time in a 20-minute podcast. So the first video I had that did exceptionally well, I decided against my own rules, which I talked about in yesterday's episode, of not chasing current events because I don't want my videos to have a shelf life. Well, after a year or two of not really getting anywhere and not getting more than 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 views per video, I thought, okay, what if I try and turn the spotlight on other YouTubers that are more popular and try to capitalize on talking about someone else? Something that I see small YouTube channels doing, right? And trying to catch a name by talking about someone who's already famous. Well, I happened to catch a performance by an artist on YouTube, and I was really fascinated by what this person did. And they made it onto mainstream television. They made it onto one of these talent shows. So I decided to go ahead and talk about this person, not realizing that I apparently did a very good job talking about this person, because they had a huge fan base that really liked what I did, and my channel started taking off and very quickly surpassed 1,000 subscribers and got my monetization and started making money. The video, I did a total of 3 videos on this person following their journey, and racked up a couple 100,000 views each on those videos and made a couple $100 on the whole thing, and was like, wow, holy crap, it actually worked. Now, I tried to replicate that success on something else in a very similar way, and it fell flat on its face. So I don't know what to do with that. Right. I don't know if it's like one of these lightning in a bottle things. You can't catch lightning twice. I don't know. I don't know why that one worked as well as it did, and that one continues to drive people. Another video that's out there, I decided to do a video that was really kind of in the psychology space, and again, because I'm usually talking about human interest and society and things like that. In this one particular video, it's ridiculous. The damn thing still continues to get views, and people still continue to subscribe based on this video that I did 4 years ago now. It took a while. It didn't catch on at first. It kind of sat there and languished, and then about 2 years ago now, it just took off, and somehow the almighty algorithm really liked it and continues to push it out there and continues to put it in suggested. I am the #1 rank on the keyword for the topic of that video on YouTube. So that video alone drives about 3,000 views a month and about $15 in revenue all by itself every month. It's kind of nuts, and I don't understand where it came from. That's kind of the baseline with me when it comes to YouTube. Is I've never in 4 years really understood this platform to any great degree. I've never understood why it works for some people and not others. I have a quote-unquote friend who has been extremely successful I have a couple of friends that have been extremely successful, and I'll talk about them later in other episodes. And one of them went down the path of setting himself up as a YouTube expert and a guru, and he's YouTube certified, and he is training other people and showing the secrets and tricks, and he's a good guy. And I paid him a bit of money to try and train me, but again, I guess I go back to the question of whether or not I'm actually trainable. I got a lot more I want to talk about, but I don't want these things to go 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes each time. So I've got a lot I got to cover, and I think it's going to keep me busy over the next several episodes. I need to talk about the culture and the mindset of the small YouTube creator. I need to talk about the bull crap that YouTube people tell themselves and each other, the concept of community. But I need to talk about the friendships that I've made. And best and probably worst of all is I need to talk about social media in the space of a creator, whether it's YouTube or otherwise, a content creator, and what we do and why we do it and why we fail so often. But I think I put enough into this one for now. I will stop. I will move on to the rest of my day, and as much as I'm sure that nobody is listening at this point, 20 minutes in, my thanks to the 2 or 3 mystery people that might actually possibly be putting 30 seconds or more into this podcast every day. Thanks. I appreciate it. I know you're not here 20 minutes later, but I thank you nonetheless. All right, that's it. I'm going to shut up. I'm done. I hope that you have a great day, and talk to you later.